What you're seeing here is a picture of Sheila, the lady from the channel from some time ago who was the thumbnail. Many of you may remember when I began talking about some of the issues with the small locks and some of the things that can cause hair foliage. When I began talking about small locks, Microlocks, Sisterlocks, and some of the conditions under which the retightenings can create a lot of hair fall, she was one of the ladies who was kind enough to allow me to see what had happened to her hair. But only within the last 2 weeks, she sent me a beautiful update letting me know that this is what her hair looked like now and that it was a result of my products. Her loctician, who she loves and who does a wonderful job with her hair, and prayer. And so she really wanted me to see how happy and excited she was. And she was really expressing gratitude for the I Am Melanin Magic products. And since some of you all may actually remember her, it was just a beautiful blessing that she reached out to give me this update and that I was able to see that text message. It was very, very delightful. So hopefully many of you out there who are still using the products and who use them loyally can continue with consistency to do the things for your hair that make all the difference in the world, and to take some of the advice that I give you here on the channel as well as what will be in the ebook as you begin to rescript or rewrite your own hair narrative so that you can have a better outcome. But this is so beautiful because it goes to show you the extremes that you see in the picture, but that all is not lost. And with a concerted effort and a change in some of the rituals and some of the products that you put on your hair, you can definitely rebound. We thank you so much, Sheila. Are you tired of struggling with hair growth and thinning strands? Release the magic in your locks and tresses with I Am Melanin Magic hair oils. A premium blend of all natural ingredients strengthens, restores, and revitalizes your hair for maximum health and growth. Don't let thinning hair straightened hair brand. Upgrade your hair care game today. So are you. I Am Melanin Magic hair oil.
Hello, 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 beautiful people, perfect people and beautiful butterflies. Woo! Welcome to Tanisha's Locks Beauty Tips and Potpourri, also known as the I Am Melanin Magic brand. Welcome to the channel, welcome to the channel, welcome to the channel. Today we're talking about something kind of important. Now you all know that I had about 14 years with Sisterlocks, and then within the last a little bit more than a year, I decided to transition over to knotted locks. And during that time, in particular towards the latter part of that journey, I learned a ton. I was able to get some revelation, I'm going to call it. There is no better word. Some revelation with regard to knotted locks. And then I was able to synthesize and assimilate that information and to do a comparison. In addition to the comparison, which is what I'm really going to be talking about today, I will be sharing more with you around my knotted locks journey. And I'll still be sharing plenty with you with regard to Sisterlocks, Microlocks, because I have had them for 14 years, maybe even a little bit more than that. But today's video is to try to help you to understand, if you're looking at knotted locks, what some of the differences are as it relates to the way that you can lose hair and the way that your journey can either be cut short, or the way that if you're able to pivot or to get the information that you need on the front end rather than a year later like what it took me, or maybe never at all if you don't have the right support, what can actually happen to cut your journey short. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. For those of you who are taking the Righteous Hair course, which is a delving into not only knotted locks, primarily knotted locks at this point because I have not finished uploading videos, but we have 60 videos right now. We have a lot of people taking the class, and I'm getting a lot of commentary from you all in the course, but also in the personal notes that you guys are sending me. As y'all know, I gave my telephone number out on this channel 6 years ago, 7 years ago. So I get a lot of messages that way. But many of you either had knotted locks through another avenue, and so you're able to do a comparison. And then some of you didn't get any formal training, but you decided to try it anyway, and you're finding that the course is robust, that it is very comprehensive, and that it is an excellent model for training. Right now, it's the best model out there. So if you're interested in the Righteous Hair course, just look in the description, click on the link. We had 3 different tier prices. The second tier and the third tier are still available. The second tier will be available at the $129.99 price up through the end of the day on September the 17th. After that, the regular price of $199 is what will kick in. Keep in mind, this is an extremely value-packed course. It has more information based on my experiences and my analytics. Y'all know I got those analytics, and I believe in going in and figuring out things. And it shares my intimate experiences, okay? I have lost or either had challenges with over 10 locks. If I were to actually count, I can count right now 3 places where there are no locks, but that does not include the areas where I did lock surgery or lock repair, nor does it include the areas where I had to actually marry locks. Now, y'all know, as long as y'all have heard me talk about Sisterlocks on this channel, that even the issues that I had throughout my Sisterlocks experience, which were a blessing in so many ways, as was the actual journey, I still never experienced hair loss like what I experienced with knotted locks. It was profound. But the beautiful thing is, I was not the only one. And while I was dealing with this and continuing to just troubleshoot like I always do, it was no big deal. I got daggone near almost 600 locks. If you all remember from all of my videos, I was never afraid to go into something new because I'm not afraid of what the outcome may be. I was never attached to the outcome. And besides, I have enough locks to experiment with, so it was never something that made me feel uncomfortable. But the other side of that is I just thought it was par for the course. I thought it was just part of the journey, so I accepted it. And then as I began realizing, by way of many of you out there who went down that same journey after I took the dive in, that you were experiencing greater losses, more severe issues. Some of you were not even able to keep your locks, and some of you had the kind of hair loss and thinning that was very alarming to me when I saw it. When I heard about it from some of you guys who reached out, I realized that, you know what? Once I did that video around my lockversary, I think it was the first weekend in May, is when I had the epiphany, when I went up here and I developed, or I was able to spontaneously, yet I don't want to say it was spontaneously in the way that it happened, because I wasn't supposed to be knotting my hair. I had decided I was going to wait an additional 4 weeks, but it was very revealing in that I was shown a better way to do it. And in my being shown a better way to do it, I couldn't believe it. So I was then guided to continue to practice. And before I knew it, I had knotted my entire hair in less than 2 hours with no mistakes, which was unheard of. And as I was going through the process, I was also being inspired to pay attention to what I was actually doing as I was doing the knotting. And I began to realize, wow, there is a method that will take me out of the madness. The madness was this random way of doing it that never worked, even though I tried the way, I modified the way, and even after a year, I still had hideous locks in some of my hair. And many of you may remember me early on saying, who cares about how it looks? Who cares about how it looks? Shout out to one of our JBs out here on the channel, who I believe showed up in the comments, some of you all also, who said, well, of course we care about how it looked. And my position at the time was, and that was very early in the journey, is, and it was midway through, like, why do I care what it looks like? And the reason why I said that is because I didn't expect to have the kind of casualties and collateral damage that I had. I was expecting it to look like more of what I felt they would look like based on what I was seeing. And I was very satisfied with that. I was not expecting, and I'm going to put a picture up here for you because I have, oh boy, crazy, like crazy. Can you imagine these being up near the front? Okay. And the advice being to just be patient. Can you imagine these being around the crown of your head? And depending upon the texture of your hair, now mind you, I have 4 different textures of hair in my head, which I didn't know was a blessing because they all knot differently. I have a texture here. I have a texture here that is very prone to challenges. Okay, these 2 textures are fairly the same, although it's a little bit different on this side. So I get definitely a little bit more than double the shrinkage, especially on this side. I have a texture at the very back, and then I have a texture here. That might even be 4.5, almost 5, if you could even say that I have that variation. And so that gave me a lot of canvas on which to experiment. So I was paying attention to the very different things that I was noticing in different parts of my hair. And I would mark my locks in various ways, and then I would observe them. And then some of them I went the extra mile to make an attempt to straighten out. Okay. Some of them I actually cut around them or groomed them. Others of them totally did lock surgery. My form of lock surgery, because the collateral damage was such that it didn't look good. And at that point, when they started looking like that, yes, I was. I am humble enough to say, yes, I was concerned about how they looked, especially when I realized that they did not have to look that way. They did not have to look that way. And that with my particular technique and my particular way of placing the knot, it is a surefire way, which is what you heard me to say during my Lockversary video. And you may have heard me to say it during the rebut or the reversal video that I put out maybe about a little over a week ago to let you know what my position was on certain things. It was quite enlightening. And so as I began to realize it didn't have to be this way, that gave me another level of understanding. It gave me a lot more comfort, and it is allowing me to straighten out the mess. Because remember, when I took the dive, I was invested in this. I needed to make this work and I still need to make it work. If it doesn't work, I will be the first to back out, and I will be the first to tell you sometime down the line that don't do it, Miss Seeley. Don't do it. But I don't want to say that. And I do have belief in the philosophy. The method, I don't have confidence in. I have confidence in my method, but I do have confidence in the philosophy behind it, the conceptual aspect of it. And what I would like to see is for those of you who may still be hiding in the closet and ashamed of what your heads look like to go ahead and reach out to me. But overall, I'd like to see anyone who has not signed up for the course, who's already kind of knee deep into it, even if you're at the year mark, to open up to and avail yourself of a better way of doing things where the information that you need to keep your hair healthy and to feel beautiful and empowered is not kept from you, or it just may not be known. Okay, because everybody has a different mind. And so what I'm here to really emphasize today before I close out this video is to help you to understand it is when you have Microlocks or Sisterlocks, or however it is, you know, the small locks that typically use the interlocking method, and you begin to experience difficulties depending upon a lot of factors, because you guys know I talk about the factors a lot, and I go into this in the ebook. Okay, and the ebook is still being worked on. The blessing is that the ebook was put on hold at a time, and I didn't quite understand why, but I understand now, because it has to include plenty of dialogue on this whole knotted locks thing, so that when you get the ebook, you understand what you're getting into, whether you're taking the course or not. So it's important to realize that when you have the other type of interlocked methods, there are a lot of things that can create an environment that can nurture hair loss. But usually those things take place over a period of time. All right, unless you're someone that's just really tugging on your hair, unless you're someone that just has a vicious consultant or loctician, or you have some really outlier kinds of situations, it typically takes some time. It can take years for the hair to be traumatized. With knotted locks, it's very different. Your hair can be traumatized in one sitting. Oh, yes, it can. When I tell you, I lost a lock right in here that I did lock surgery on. I lost a lock right in here in less than an hour. The whole damn lock fell out right in front of my eyes. And hopefully I can show you a picture. I have it somewhere on my phone. Hopefully you'll see a picture pop up on the screen. If not, know that it is what it is. That lock was gone, lost, rendered like inoperable, unhealthy, totally traumatized in less than an hour. And that's the difference between this journey with knotted locks and the journey with your other Microlocks, is that, or Sisterlocks, or whatever other type of small lock, is that if you don't know what you're doing from the beginning, and you're just sitting back in a very laissez-faire type of way, and you're accepting that you just need to be patient and let the hair do what it needs to do and all of those things, you're going to have a rocky road. And the road is going to get so rocky that you may find yourself needing to get off of it for a multitude of reasons. Even if it has to do with you wetting your hair every day. You can kill a flower by wetting it every day. I never wet my hair every day, and I would dare not wet it every day. And I wouldn't recommend you necessarily unless you fall under certain conditions. And there are conditions in which that needs to be done, and there are conditions under which that should never be done. And the same thing for the oil. Anything can be overdone. And so what I strove to do was to find the balance and to find the truth, and to get at uncovering what else is it that is missing in this paradigm or in this equation that can free me so that I can have healthier hair, so that at least I have the confidence to continue this journey for another, I don't know how long, we'll see, because I'm playing it by ear, while I nurse my locks back to health. Now, I never had those worries. Granted, I have many more benefits with knotted locks that I value, but I never had worries at the level of which I have to go into my hair and monitor what is going on a regular basis. And I have to look at places where the locks have thinned tremendously, places where I no longer have a lock, or places where I was forced to marry. And then understanding the preeminence of marrying. And that had I known certain things, I would have made different decisions when it even came to marrying, because that was never talked about. It's talked about now, and it's talked about in my course. And now I believe, like I said, we have 60 videos up there, and more will be constantly added, and you will have 3 years of unlimited use of that website at that price, and constantly able to go in and review and benefit from the new uploads as I continue on this journey. A journey that I am very serious about at this point, because I have to nurse my locks back to health, or I have to make a different decision. The greatest area of trauma was in this area, because this is where my hair is softest. And in the areas where the hair is softest, not thin, but softest, is where the placement of the knot is of the utmost importance. Okay, in the areas where my hair is denser, I might have had some crazy looking things going on, and God knows I got enough pictures to show y'all. Ooh, that's one thing. Like, I wish I could even just show you, because y'all know I don't believe in hiding my hair. Ain't no reason to hide it. You can see everything you need to see. I'm gonna see if I can find you something when I talk about something that looks hideous to you. I want to show you what this looks like. Can you see that? I'm gonna see if you can see this. You may not. I'm gonna blow it up. But do you see this? This is the first part of my journey. This is a triple knot. That's a double knot. These are hard knots. All things that never had to be. That absolutely never had to be. Let's see if you can see that. Now, if you can see how tight this is, you know I've got the monitor. When I tell you this is the size of the top of this pen, just like this, and it's compressed because this happened at the very early part of the journey. Okay, and this may not look bad from where you are, but this looks bad. And it looks bad when it cuts off the circulation to the lock and the spiritual energy cannot move, and it impacts the cuticle. It impacts everything. So these are serious, serious, serious things that I talk about in the course and that I talk about here on the channel and that I'll continue to talk about moving forward. For those of you who are still looking for options, you have options, and it's definitely an option. It's definitely an option. It's still an option for me. I'm not going to run off because there's too many things that I do love about it that I don't want to compromise. And as I mentioned to you, I'm in love with and have always been in love with the philosophy behind it. The methodology is a whole different story. The methodology is always different than the philosophy around something. The methodology has to do with the method. And so when it comes down to the methodology, I had to toot my own horn, or I had to validate and confirm my right to have my own methodology because I had to save my hair. Nobody else was going to save it, nor was anyone else going to save all of the other sisters who were experiencing major, major hiccups on their journey. And so this information is now available to you all who are considering this so that you can develop and complement your own discovery process and then can make an informed decision. Because as you saw me mention a year ago, you may want to just take a certain section of your hair and experiment. You may want to experiment in an area where your knots will be smaller so that if you change your mind, you can always go back through and revert back to Sisterlocks. Because let me tell you, it is not that easy to go back to interlocking from this in certain parts of your hair, depending upon your hair texture, depending upon the pattern, and depending upon the health of your hair. And that is real. So for some of the locticians out there who are having to do damage control, it can be quite a challenge. It's definitely possible, but that also depends. It also depends. And so that I can give you even better information than the information I'm giving you, you will also be privy to how my hair fares with certain locks as I go back to interlocking. Okay, because that's going to be really, really important, because trying to get those big knots, the ones that are double or triple knots, through the root base can be traumatizing, and it's not something you want to have to do in certain situations, which means you may have to perform lock surgery on the lock or groom and do some lock repairs in order to transition back. This is the tea, y'all. It is what it is. You're with Tanisha Ali of I Am Melanin Magic, and yes, we are still thriving contrary to whatever the dirty dirt is that is being. It's going to stop soon. Y'all know I do not sit idle. I ask that you be patient and you continue to do what you have always done. For those of you who love me and appreciate what it is that I am out here doing, the darkness and the fire cannot burn forever. And many times there's a water hose that comes in and kills the fire altogether. And so I love you guys. I appreciate you. I will continue to appreciate you. If you have not purchased my book, Manifesting Your Masterpiece, you can get it on Amazon. Again, the Righteous Hair course is going to be in the description along with Discord. If you haven't registered for Discord, Discord is for anyone with locks, no matter what kind of lock you have, who your loctician is. In fact, there are several threads on there for locticians whereby you can advertise your services and you can let people know if you have openings and what you provide. You can upload your images. You can do as you wish. For those of us who are locked, if you have traditional locks, if you have twists, if you have free form, if you have Sisterlocks, Microlocks, knotted locks, tiny locks, whatever type of lock you have, if you want to share your experiences, share the beauty of your crown, if you want to talk about different tips that you may have with certain people that are on those threads, as we grow into the future over time, over the next few years, it is my hope that we will have a cohesive community that will move as one to support any and everyone in their journey, no matter where they are on their journey. And so the link for the Discord, along with Righteous Hair, is in the description. I'm also going to try to remember to pin it in the comments. So if you look in the comments section, you'll be able to see it there too. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, and share the video. I appreciate all of you. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. I hope that you had a lovely day today. The weather where I am is gorgeous. I did a little bit of gardening a few hours ago. I'm about to head out to the store with the lovely Albie. So if you haven't gotten some of that beautiful, beautiful summer weather, get out there and get some weather. Get some of that beautiful weather. It's not as hot where I am today. We've had a lot of rain and storms, so it's really, really nice and cooler outside today. Enjoy the rest of your beautiful morning, afternoon, or evening, depending upon whenever it is that you see this video. Again, lots of love to you. I want to thank all of you who support the channel. As always, I am very grateful to you for your love, for your outreach, and for all of the prayers that you guys are sending, and the just sort of stand-up type of energy and making yourself known and letting me know where you are out here in this beautiful cosmic landscape. Talk to y'all again. Welcome to Tunisia's Locks, Beauty Tips, and Potpourri, the channel where we get it all in. You can also learn more about the I Am Melanin Magic brand. Thank you for stopping by.
Our magical hair growth serum did this after just 8 short weeks, 5 times per week. Denisha began with the premium oil blend in April, and by June, she had already regrown hair. Angelica addressed thinning with the magical hair growth serum and continues to use the products to improve thinning in areas where it's been hard to regrow hair. Meet Kina. Her hair loss was spread over several areas. She went ham with the magical hair growth serum, and to the shock of her loctician, her hair began to rebound fast. She is delighted, and so am I.
I am Melanin Magic, and so are you.